Have you ever heard a story so deep it feels like it holds a secret just for you? Well, a tale where mystery meets faith and time itself seems to bend. This is the story of the people of the cave, known in the Islamic tradition as Ashabul Kahf. It is a quiet, powerful narrative that has been shared for centuries, a beacon of hope and a profound lesson in trust. It asks us a simple, yet deep question. What does it mean to truly have faith when the world around you seems lost? This isn't just an ancient legend, it is a living story, one that continues to echo in the hearts of millions. The core of this beautiful account is found within the pages of the Qur'an, specifically in a chapter named Surah Al-Kahf, which means the cave. Verses 9 through 26 lay out the tale, not with every small detail, but with the wisdom and the moral that matter most. It invites us to look beyond the surface, to see the signs of God's power and mercy in the most unexpected of places. This story is often recited on Fridays by Muslims around the world, a weekly reminder of its enduring lessons. It serves as a spiritual anchor, a tale of courage that feels as relevant today as it did so long ago. Imagine a group of young men living in a city ruled by a tyrant who demanded that everyone worship idols instead of the one true God. These youths, firm in their belief, felt their faith being choked by the society around them. They saw the falsehood and could not bring themselves to participate in it. Their hearts were bound together by a shared love for God and a desire to worship Him alone. They made a brave choice, a choice that would separate them from everything they knew. They decided to leave their homes, their families, and the comfort of their city for the sake of their convictions. Their story begins not with a grand battle, but with a quiet retreat. It is a testament to the idea that sometimes the greatest strength is not found in confrontation, but in steadfastly holding on to what is true. The young men, guided by their faith, found a secluded cave on a mountainside. With them was their loyal dog. In this humble shelter, they prayed for mercy and guidance. They asked God to ease their affair and to provide a way forward. Settling into the cave's darkness, a deep and profound sleep fell over them. The Quran says God sealed their ears, a slumber that was not ordinary, a divine sleep, a protective veil shielding them from a world that forgot them. Outside, the world kept turning. Seasons changed. Empires rose and fell. Generations came and went. The Quran shows God's careful protection. The sun would rise and decline to their right, and when it set, it would pass them on the left. They lay in an open space inside the cave, spared the sun's direct heat, yet still bathed in its light. Their dog lay at the entrance, stretching its forelegs, a silent guardian. After what seemed a day or part of a day, they awoke, and the world they knew was gone. They sent one back into the city with a few silver coins to buy pure food, fearful the old ruler might force them to abandon their faith. But the man found a city he did not recognize. Buildings were different. People were different. The coins were ancient relics. Townspeople were astonished by his old-fashioned currency and story. Slowly, the truth emerged. They had not slept a day. They had slept 300 years. Some accounts add 9 more. The idolatrous city they fled had embraced belief in one God. The tyrant was gone, the community now believers. The story of the sleepers is primarily known in the Muslim world Surah Al-Kahf. The Quranic telling is concise, focusing on spiritual lessons rather than historical minutiae. It leaves certain details ambiguous, like the exact number of the sleepers. Some will say they were 3, 5, 7, but only God truly knows their number. This is a lesson in itself. Focus on the message of faith and divine power, not debates over secondary details. The Quran presents their story as one of the signs of God meant to inspire wonder, strengthen belief. Beyond the Qur'an, classical Islamic historians and exegetes explored the story in greater depth. Ibn Kathir, his Tafsir al-Qur'an al-Azim, provided detailed commentary. He gathered narrations and historical accounts, grounding his interpretation in the Quranic text. Al-Tabari included versions in his comprehensive history of the world. They bridged the Quranic narrative with historical context, possible cave locations, and the societal conditions that led the young men to flee. The story is not exclusive to Islam. Earlier versions in Christian tradition, the Seven Sleepers of Ephesus. Shared heritage highlights universal appeal, deep roots in the monotheistic faiths of the region. The Quranic version is distinct in emphasis and purpose. It affirms key Islamic beliefs, God's omnipotence, the reality of the afterlife, holding fast to faith in the face of persecution. It binds different histories under a single powerful truth. In many tellings, especially in the Levant, the Quran mentions the word scholars debate, mountain dog tablet on which names were inscribed. The mystery adds another layer, inviting contemplation and discussion. Accounts differ on specifics, but converge on the central theme. Believers miraculously preserved by God, a sign for future generations. While several countries in the region lay claim to the site of the cave, one of the most well-known and visited locations is just outside of Amman, the capital of Jordan. Known as the Cave of the Seven Sleepers, this archaeological site has become a place of pilgrimage and quiet reflection for people from all over the world. The Jordanian government has preserved the site, making it accessible to visitors who wish to connect with this powerful story. It is a place where history, faith, and local tradition converge, offering a tangible link to the ancient past. Upon visiting the site, one finds the remains of a Byzantine-era church and mosque built over the cave. Inside the cave itself, there are several sealed tombs, or sarcophagi, believed to be the resting places of the sleepers. The atmosphere is serene and humbling, you know. Signs and small displays help guide visitors, explaining the historical significance and the Quranic narrative. It is not a grand or ostentatious monument. Its power lies in its simplicity and the weight of the story it holds within its stone walls. People visit the Jordanian cave for many reasons. Some come to offer prayers, finding it a spiritually charged space to connect with God. Others come as students of history and religion, eager to see the physical evidence tied to such a famous story. For many, it is simply a journey of curiosity and wonder. Walking through the quiet grounds, looking into the ancient burial chambers, and seeing the remnants of an old olive tree nearby, one cannot help but think about the passage of time. The site encourages visitors to pause and reflect on their own lives, their own faith, and the meaning of hope. The cave in Jordan, whether it is the definitive location or not, serves an important purpose. It provides a focal point for a story that lives in the hearts of believers. It transforms an abstract tale into a real physical space that one can experience. The surrounding landscape, with its rolling hills and ancient stones, contributes to the feeling of stepping back in time. It is a place that does not offer all the answers, but instead encourages deeper questions, inviting every visitor to find their own meaning in the silence of the cave. In our modern world, which moves at a dizzying pace, the story of Ashabul Kahf offers lessons that are more valuable than ever. First and foremost, it is a powerful reminder of the importance of courage, conviction. The young men stood for their beliefs when it was easier to conform. Their story encourages us to hold on to our principles, stand for what is right, even when we feel isolated. It teaches that true strength is not about bending to pressure, but about staying true to one's moral and spiritual compass. This message of integrity resonates deeply in an age of shifting values. The story is also a profound meditation on hope, divine providence. The sleepers entered the cave facing what seemed like an impossible situation, with no clear path forward. Yet they placed their complete trust in God. Their miraculous sleep and awakening show that even in our darkest moments, hope is never lost. God's plan is at work in ways we cannot comprehend, This gives comfort to anyone facing hardship, reminding them that difficulties are temporary. A new dawn can emerge when least expected. It is a message that tells us to trust the journey, even when we cannot see the destination. Furthermore, the tale challenges our human perception of time. For the sleepers, 300 years passed like a single day. This illustrates that our understanding of time is limited and relative. In the grand scheme of God's creation, our lifetimes are but a fleeting moment. This perspective encourages humility and helps us focus on what truly matters: our deeds, our relationship with our Creator. The story asks us to look beyond our immediate worries and to invest in the things that are eternal. It is a call to live a life of purpose, knowing that our legacy is not measured in years, but in faith. So, let this ancient story be more than just a tale you have heard. Let it be a mirror for your own heart. I invite you to learn its lessons more deeply. Read the verses of Surah Al-Kahf in the Qur'an. Explore the writings of trusted scholars like Ibn Kathir to understand its context. If you ever have the chance, visit a site like the one in Jordan with a respectful and open heart. Reflect on the courage, hope, faith of those young men. For in their quiet, miraculous sleep, we find a message that is wide awake. Believe in what is right, be brave in your conviction, and trust that hope can outlive even the longest night.